Good morning, teacher. My name is Gilbert. I try to explanation about process politics South America and Latin America. Well, this is the first page. Talk about my portal. Well, let's talk about the process. The process politics are sets of action ordered to an end. The political life occurs with a dynamic process that occurs in social interaction to the pursuit of the power and a cooperative political structure. Like this picture you can see, how supported into the government or the military regiments always take the people to exigent or demand. The people don't have the opportunity to choose freedom. Always have the difficult to take a liberal explanation, liberal ideals. Well, that's to support keep going to the governments and continue to finish the don't give all the guarantees to the people. Really have in determining countries on determined nation. The process politics have it the different situation. Where I take some topic about this. The first topic is decolonization. Like this picture, you can see on the when a woman take it and talk about the freedom on their country. You can see in this country, the people try to use it in the colonization. How it's possible in this century, 21st, continuing in this situation. What about the colonization? What's meaning that? It's a term used for a different context, but always with the sense of indication of the population of occupation of a space. Maybe on the colony for the country or territory, or by another, the metropolis. That's precision to colonization. Maybe of an economic nature. This really can be political, maybe military, maybe informational, cultural, economic, or ethnic. But the colonialism is the influence or domination that one country by another more powerful and built the way through a military invasion. You can see that on Panama when the 30 years ago invasion for capture to the president Noruega, the General Noriega and other people in this country maybe opposition take opposition to this difficult situation. In Latin America, you can see in this map how the colony made to explanation to territory. In 1794, you can see the colonies, the rest colonies in Spain. You can see how that imperial take to forth from the a little part to and start to the United States, Mexico, and South beautiful country to and American Central and the South America like the Colombia, like the Peru, like the Argentina, Chile. A difference to colonies to Brazil, but maybe was occupied for Portugal, and the other countries like the Netherlands, like the Guayanas Francesas, like the country where the colonies is so. France. Today, you can see on this country, like the Caribbean, more or the countries are colonizing for Netherlands. Grand Britain tried to explain their colony. If you can see now, in the century 21, you can see how it's possible United Kingdom explained your kingdom on the South America, specifically in the Malvinas Island. Why? What's the suppose try to explanation to you imperialism and you military invasion? Why? Well, maybe have many reasons, but it's true. The people in Argentina try to reclaim for ONU that territory is from Argentina, no United Kingdom. This from talk about the other topic is the decolonization. Decolonization is a process by which a colony achievement independence from a colonial power. This is a positive process of colonialism. Well, this is a picture trying to explain. Argentina tried to say Patagonia, it's mine. Get out. In Grand Britain do not have land in this country. But if you can see, that government tried to Malvinas, tried to Gibraltar, Islas Virgin and Montserrat, Bermudas. Other countries was a colonial in the time when the expansions from the conquer try to new language, try to new economy, try to new development, but under reasons to that. If you know, teacher and me know, always try to take improve the constituting of empire. Why? Because the minority local communities that feel threatened by possibility of independence. Why try to take the exit at this problem? Well, try to about revolutions. What's mean revolution? Well, this is a topic very hard to speak because many people try to take the idea about revolution, fight, and war. But in my personal opinion, I don't try to revolution by the war. But the people take weapons, take bombs for change or radical and profound transformation in the society. But what's mean real revolution? Revolution is a changing idea because one thing that in circumstance warranting at the moment. They can be economic, they can be cultural, they can be religious, they can be political, they can be social, military, etc. Political and social change using of or racial violently and with the participation of broad sector of the population. And this point is very important to understand three main topics: political regulation, social regulation, and economic regulation. If you know, the political regulation try to join and to put together a new ideals for the society in South America and Latin America. Look, in this picture you can see three presidents to try to make a new political revolution. Mr. President Venezuela, Mr. President Bolivia, Mr. President Ecuador. Maybe your ideals and the first try to help the people, but when the people begin to understand that ideals political can be different, the people made that a revolution social. Why? First, in the revolution social, we can see the politicals don't share it the ideals. If you remember, one of the countries and political revolution social entered to socialism. Karl Marx talked about the socialism, like in Cuba, the other country here in Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia. But just right now, the socialism is get down. The people don't bite, don't give it any chance for the socialisms. In this moment, the bourgeoisie revolution understood that the plans for the ruling class and privileged class constituted undoubtedly and clarity for the bourgeoisie. In these ideals, if they try to, the bourgeoisie never take the power, always be ruling class for the socially. Everybody earn the money for the same equality. Never spend the money like the other. But the really problem in this socially revolution social is let's to converting in dictatorships. The dictatorship is a form to government that's primarily characterized by lack and democratic control in the public administration. Well, as you can see in this map, that is the dictatorships in the world. You can see dictatorships in that country in South America, Venezuela, Brazil, and Argentina. So socialism, yours, the Soviet Union, democracy, countries like Australia, like in South Africa, and the country like in North America, in Colombia, and some countries in this land about the Pacific. Well, you can see the countries like in Europa, North Europa, and the north of the North America, and the colonies, because the country don't have the independence right now, but for new strategies politicals try to decolonization that country from their or colonies like you say like Great Britain, like France, and the other countries who had colony. Well, in the kind of the dictatorship, that was called by Marx dictatorship of the proletariat. What is the mean? What's meaning that? Look, in this country, we here and made when I like think. In this country, we made a like speak. Look, Mr. President, Señor Maduro, and Mr. Chavez try to put on the ideals of all the people. Look, like here you can see, if you don't have the newspaper, then have the expression liberty, maybe have the dictator. Well, the dictator constitutional try to form the government in which, after the constitution, under respect, under relative power is concentrated in authoritarian and totalitarian way to hands of the dictator. That is that example you can see always in Venezuela. Maybe for respalding your ideals, try to explain it in the constitution. In this way, try to controlling and dictatorially or indirectly mean the legislative and executive and judicial. So it's another principle of separation of powers. An essential requirement is a Montesquieu and the majority political science and current settles. You can see in this dictator and proletariat. Socialism, look at this picture in Havana in 1915 and Havana 2010. You can see that had many changes, But what about the capitalism? Maybe have your advantage, but don't have always. Like, look, Hong Kong, 1915 was a colony. Remember, Hong Kong was a colony from Grand Britain. But just right now, when Hong Kong take it off, the colony, this colonization for Grand Britain, converting a new city, a new and progressive city, a new progressive country. Well, what about dictator military? Um, Augusto Pinochet, Mr. Chavez. If your idealists try to foreign to authoritarian rule in which to degrade or lesser degrade the executive and legislative and judicial institution are controlled by the armed forces. Yes, he take the power by he take the power of the country like the force. Why? Because maybe the government don't have the idealist constitutional, so the that person try to move it to your trope to take authority, take your executive, take your legislative, and why not control all the armed force and preventing any foreign democratic control. Pues the result about the dictator military, many people dead, many people are disappearing because are people to opposing that class to democracy. Well, teacher, I hope so. Concluding my homework, I explained to you notes and different points to try to this homework. Thank you so much. All right. Entonces vamos a subir.